Warning. This podcast contains real opinions, raw energy, and zero apologies. If that electrifies you, good. Welcome to the BSing with Y Eagle Y podcast. Hit that like button and turn it up. Let's rock.
All right, Rob here. Welcome to the show. We've got some killer shows coming your way, so lock in these dates. May 15th at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Queen of Spades, all the way from the Netherlands. May 23rd at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, Touch of Red. Don't miss this lineup. Today, we're joined by the powerhouse behind Venus Love, Gwendolyn Miller. From raw emotion to hard-hitting rock energy, she's been making serious waves in the scene. Gwendolyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What's up?
So, Gwendolyn, I was doing some research on the origins of the word Venus, the Latin term meaning love, charm, or desire. It's also associated with striving for or desiring, also known as a Roman goddess counterpart to the Greek Aphrodite. Would you say this mythology played a role in the name of Venus Love?
Actually, no.
Wow.
I could see how it can align with it, and I would definitely still be open to identifying with those definitions as well. But actually, it came from, so I'm actually really interested in space and astronomy. And
Awesome.
so my undergrad too, what I started studying originally was astrophysics, but it's really hard. But I've always been interested in space, and so when I kind of got into my more creative side and started exploring my artistic side, I was like, how can I still bring this part of me, because it's still all part of my identity. And it was choosing my stage name, and I was like, I like Venus because it's obviously represents women, so into the psychology aspect. There's this really awesome book called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I don't know if you guys have heard of that book, but yeah. So from a psychological standpoint, from astronomy kind of space standpoint, and I was like, oh, it just kind of happens to also align with Venus as the goddess of love, right? But I wasn't originally thinking of that. No, it was more just space.
Gotcha.
So yeah, where that comes from. Yeah.
Well, Gwen, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on with us. Thanks
you.
for spending your afternoon with us. And by the way, what do you prefer, Gwen or Gwendolyn? What do you prefer?
Well, it just depends. I mean, when I first meet people and I say, hey, my name's Gwendolyn, if they roll out a red carpet, then I'm like, okay, great. Then they can use the full name of Gwendolyn. But if they don't have the red carpet, I'm like, Gwen's fine.
Okay.
So
well, we're trying to roll out the red carpet here today, and talk to us a little bit about your musical beginnings. We know that you were trained classically as an operatic vocalist, but take us back to the beginning. When did music actually start to have a profound effect on your life?
I mean, it's always been that way for a very, very long time. So ever since I was little, oh man, I remember I used to listen to a lot of my mom's CDs, or when I was super little. And I would remember hearing just people's voices, female singers and stuff, and it just hit a certain chord of me, and I was just like, oh, I want to do that. That's just where the passion started, was just singing, and just, I don't know, music just did something in my brain. So it really started when I was super little, and then I just started singing to all the female artists I could find. I just started singing their music, and it became a very, very important outlet for me to kind of release any type of emotional expression, or anything I was feeling. That's how I would get it out, is just through singing. So it's been there for so long. And then I just got into choir and all that stuff, and yeah, that was a huge part of it. And then I did a bunch of open mics in my 20s and whatnot, but I didn't seriously start pursuing it until about 2.5 years ago. So Yeah. And then I was like, hey, I might as well do this before I'm 40. Might as well.
Right.
So, yeah,
So,
that's where it came from.
so Gwendolyn, first off, you're going to be graduating soon. So,
Oh my God, yes.
I bet that's a great feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to also keep like my day job going, I mean, obviously in case I'm not like the next one hit wonder. I want to make sure I can still have the life that I want. And also still trying to pursue music as much as I can. But yes, trying to do everything all at once. It's hard, but as like an independent artist, I feel like it's just what we have to do, to keep moving forward, and also to keep paying for studio time and paying to write songs and get them recorded. So, yeah.
Understandable.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate that now artists of today can't do like the artists of old. Like many you see behind me, they started in the days when you could cut a record, and if you sold 1 million
Uh-huh.
records, you made a lot of money. God forbid you sold 10 million records,
Okay.
you really, and they've really undercut that from our artists today. So definitely
Really?
congratulations to our working artists that are pushing it and busting their ass hard as
Hmm.
you are. So
There's so many of us. I mean, that's what's just like there's so, and even here in Boise, I'm just like when I meet all the other local artists, there's so much talent. Like there's so much natural talent here, and it sucks that people like can't get their stuff out without also paying. Like I guess the new thing now is paying for meta ads, to like get your music out, but it's like paying 500 a month. So when you like get on social media and you start like scrolling, and then you'll see like artists that are suggested for you. And so that's like how a lot of people get their music out there, but like they're pouring in like $800 a month just to get those going. So it's like, I think unless you find somebody like that's like a private investor that will like pay for advertisement and marketing, it's tough. And so that's just what I see. It's such a bummer, but I mean, at least we're doing what we love, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is tough, and there's a lot of talent. But
Well,
yeah.
I want to tell you congratulations on winning the 2025 X Fest Battle of the Bands. What was
Yeah.
going through your mind the moment they announced Venus Love as the winner?
Um, I don't want to say that I had a good feeling, because I definitely don't. I don't want to say that. But I know like it was all just based on like how many tickets that we got out, because we had to each band had to push about 300 tickets for them to like, hey, come to this show and like vote for me. And so I know that I just kind of hustled. I think I'm good at hustling. And so I just hustled as much as I could, and getting tickets out there. And I think that's all you can do. If you feel like that you've done your best to like, I don't know, maybe win something, or you've put as much energy that is humanly possible at that point in life to like do something, and then you kind of can like take a step back and be like, okay, I think I did as much as I could. And then I guess just hearing maybe other people be like, okay, we voted for you. So I kept hearing a lot of people be like, hey, we're here, we voted for you. But you still don't really know. So there was another band that, I mean, all the bands were very talented. But there was one other band that I feel like I was really neck and neck with. And yeah, I was, I honestly, I was excited, but like, I didn't know for sure, but it was an amazing feeling. I was like, maybe I can do this. Like, maybe there's something here that I can keep pushing and keep moving forward with whatever I've got. So it was just kind of like, okay, let's see how far we can keep going. Like, might as well. So yeah, it's kind of what's going on. Yeah.
Long before you joined the public stage, you actually toured Europe with your college choir from the University of Idaho. Talk about
Oh.
that tour of Europe and how that played a part in developing the musical artist that you are today.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question too. It's kind of being, still very interested in just music and singing all around. I've always just loved singing. So, in high school, I was in choirs, and then college too. It's just something I needed, that outlet. That's just something I knew for so long that would just get emotion out of me. Otherwise, it would like stay in there and I would go crazy, or, that sort of thing. So I was like, oh, great, a place where I can just, because I also do really like classical. So I'm not really, I don't think, stuck in a particular genre. And then also it's such like music brings people together too. So like being a part of a choir and just experiencing that music with other people is just really touching, and it really makes you feel human and like you're a part of something. And it's beautiful music. So yeah, being a part of that choir and then just having that opportunity, it was really awesome. So I would say it shaped me in a way of just, I'm not stuck in a genre, and I really like being as diverse as I can. And just, I don't know, it's just like the love of music. So, and that's what I like too, because I think in a lot of arts, it's like there's this kind of foundational aspect where, like with like dance, it's like, you have that foundation of like, okay, you learned ballet. That's kind of like the building blocks of like, kind of like, I would say, building maybe in that genre. And so I kind of feel like that way with singing. It's like, I just feel like it's, I don't want to say more respectable, but I like having that technical kind of background to just learn also to not hurt myself or hurt my voice. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little like stuffy too. Like, okay, I have a technical background too. But it shapes it in a way of like, okay, at least I know maybe what I'm doing a little bit so I don't hurt myself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I think it's great
Yeah.
because sometimes we paint ourselves in a corner, like, say, oh, I'm a rock and roll guy, so, I'm not supposed to like other
Yeah.
stuff. But so many musicians
Yeah.
and artists do come from a diverse background, and I think it adds color and
Hmm.
meaning and depth to what, artists try to do. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I even like, I low key want to even come out with a country song here soon just to do it. Why not?
Do it.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Right?
So
Yeah.
what places in Europe did you get to visit?
Yeah, it was so awesome. So it was like a 2-week trip, and we visited, I think, like 8 cities. And I was 18, so I was drinking most of the time because we could drink over there. And everybody in my class, everybody was like, we're like singing this like opera gospel music, like half drunk. But it was cool. So we went to let's see, Austria, the Czech Republic, and then Germany was where we were mainly at.
Nice.
So
Heck yeah.
yeah, it was great. I would love to go back and actually appreciate it through like adult eyes. So at some point I'll do that.
Germany's amazing. I spent 2 years there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's the
wow.
first time, when I got there, I was like, man, they still have castles here. I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful scenery, and pretty much anywhere you go in Europe, and then Austria, Paris. Paris, I wasn't too, I mean, it's almost Americanized. And then if you get lost, all the buildings look alike. So,
Oh no, do they?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
And also wait the line out and just take, instead of taking the stairs on the Eiffel Tower, take the elevator.
Okay.
I was like, man,
Okay.
at that time I was in the military, so I thought, I was like, oh, I'm in shape. We'll just
Oh,
take the
wow.
stairs. Look at that long line. And then we got to the second level. We're like, oh no, we buying tickets here.
Oops. Shit. That's fair. I think we landed in Paris for one of our connecting flights, but the one thing I remember, maybe it was like this too when you guys were there, but it was so dirty.
Yeah.
Like even the airport, I was like, oh my God, this is rough.
Yeah.
So that's all I remember.
Trash, when you walk out. I mean, that's why I kind of said Americanized almost. Like
Okay.
if you go to like Amsterdam or something like that, man, that was one of the cleanest places I've seen other than Germany.
Oh,
And
yeah, Germany was so clean.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's rad though. Yeah, so I hope to go back. We like sang in I think one of like Berlin's, like, I don't know, one of their huge, really popular cathedrals, like a really big one. So it was a really cool like opportunity to just musically be a part of a different culture in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, just it was awesome. Europe's great. I'll go back one day. But yeah, and hopefully I'll be on tour at that time, you know. So
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of tour,
Yeah.
before you publicly launched your career, you know, we're talking about you traveling Europe and other things. I did a little digging,
Yeah.
and there's a couple
Mhm.
of posts on your social media that give us a little bit of a hint and a clue as to when you really got started. On one of your posts, it
Mhm.
shows you in front of a microphone and lights, and the captions read, "A
Oh,
breakup usually starts the fire, doesn't it?" And it says where it all started.
yeah.
And then another one of your Facebook posts, you mentioned that it was around 33 when you really started taking
Mhm.
music seriously. And so those give us just a little hint into the window. Talk about those moments and the breaking point, and when you said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm not turning back.
Yeah. Oh shoot, am I still there? My internet's connecting. Hopefully it's fine. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah. You
I still hear
hear you.
you.
Okay. I was like, oh no. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it was when I was 30. I should probably do this. It's true. I guess kind of I think a lot of us think our life is going to go a certain way, and we're going to be at like certain points in our life, like certain times, and then shockingly enough, that doesn't happen, and it's kind of some like major whiplash. Um, yeah, am I still there?
Yeah.
Is it okay? I don't know if it's on your end. It'll pop up and it keeps saying like reconnecting. I'm like, oh, but anyway. Okay, so yeah, it's during
Could be
those points where it's just
Riverside.
like, okay, I thought, oh, is it Riverside? Okay, we'll fix it. Are you guys good now?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I mainly that thing you just think you're gonna be somewhere, and then you just okay, it's not going, and I'm not where like I thought I would be, or that sort of thing. So it's just kind of like, well, I was going through a really bad breakup, and I think I just had enough of that. I was like, okay, I'm done doing this in general. So, like, what's really going to make me happy? If I'm not going to have this traditional lifestyle on this traditional timeline, it just wasn't
Right.
panning out how I thought it would. I think it sense. I don't know. It's just when you're little, you just think things are going to go a certain way, and you get to like a certain age, and you're just like, that's not really how life is. And so I remember this exact moment. I was like waking up. I was still super attached to this like person that I had broken up with. What is going to get me out of this bed? It's going to make me happy. Like, what am I gonna do? And I was just like, okay, it's music. Like, I've always wanted to be like an Avril Lavigne, Evanescence. I've like ever since I was like 6, I would sing to their music like, all the time. And it was just my favorite thing ever. And so I was like, well, might as well just see if I can do that and just see what I can do. But I remember that exact moment. It was like, you're going through a bad breakup. You just wake up with this like black hole, like in your chest. And it's just like, oh my God, what am I going to do to like make this even like 1% better? And I was just like, dude, it's mute. Like, it's just trying to like chase this vision music that I've always had since I was like 5. I mean, like, I'm in my 30s, I'm still young enough. Might as well try. So that's kind of how that started. And then basically I just started getting on social media and like looking for like, I'm not even part of the local music scene. So I just started like follow a bunch of local bands, and then I saw like a local band auditions for a singer, and like, okay, I'm messing up. And so then I joined this band. Like, I remember it was like the happiest moment of my life too. I was kind of auditioned for this band, and actually they chose me, and I just remember that was like, I was like, okay, I think I can keep going and like do this. It's those little wins. I'm just like, okay, keep going. Like, maybe so, but yeah, I remember when I like found out that I was going to be the singer for their band or something. I was on this like rock climbing date, and I remember getting the notification. And I just started freaking out because like this is my dream, you know? And the guy's like, I don't know, he was kind of lame anyway, so he didn't get it, but it was so exciting. So if that, yeah, that's kind of how it came to be. It was like, so exciting. So just those little wins just keep stacking up, and they keep
Oh,
going.
heck yeah.
Maybe to sell service or something.
Yeah, do I like break up? Is it awkward?
Yeah, I mean it breaks up a little bit, but we can understand you. It'll download the clear version. So
perfect. I can try. I'm gonna get back on my internet. Let's see. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So Gwendolyn, on June 30th, Venus Love will be opening for Hinder and Eddie and the Getaway on the Bad Decision run. Oh. When you got that opportunity, what was your initial reaction, and how exciting is it to bring the Venus Love sound to this kind of crowd?
I'm excited. I mean, just being able to kind of like open for bands that, you know, I listened to in high school and I loved, and they were just so, you know, just so being able to just share the stage, like, and rub shoulders and like get in that circle of people that are doing my like the dream is just amazing. Like at some point, I don't even care if like I don't get like, I don't know, I would say like a million listeners or even, you know, followers or whatever. But like, if I'm just able to just stay in that crowd and like just be in that circle and like play those shows, that's like really satisfying to me. I'm like, I don't care. I'm one of them. I don't give a shit. This is awesome. Like that's, you know, so it was so exhausting. And the whole reason that came to be, because I think that's what my angle is, just kind of keep trying to maybe open bigger bands that are coming through here, or maybe like even reach out to like other bigger cities and just be like, hey, here's my EPK. Can I like open for big bands? I think that's what I'll start doing. Yeah, but it's exciting. Just stay in those circles. That'd be sick. Like be friends with them. Yeah. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of sharing the stage, after you won the 2025 Battle of the Bands, you were able to share and open up for Chevelle, Asking Alexandria, Dead Poet Society. I'm such a huge Chevelle fan. I can't imagine your experience there. What did you take away from those experiences, and what would you say was like something really unique out of that whenever you got the opportunity to open for those guys?
Yeah, it was so amazing. I would say, I mean, honestly, again, going kind of back to is like being an independent artist. There's so much you're having to navigate and make sure and like put together. Like the footage, like you have your camera person that's like, you know, set like audio. Just because like it's like because also it's my project, and so you know, I'm really grateful that I just have a band that's willing to come and like play for me and like play my music, you know. So it's kind of like me making sure everything's okay and kind of running everything. And I always feel like I've never been, you know, so it's just trying to learn the skills to make sure that we're all good and, you know, good to like take the stage. So really the biggest thing I took away from that is just like management experience of like being somebody that is more in charge of like this creative kind of thing. It was just like, you know, from like sun up to like sundown. Like by the time I got on stage, like, I was exhausted. So I was bummed because like I think this is how it goes, but I know I could have like given way more. But like the logistics and just making sure everything was okay, and like I had dancers, which I thought was rad. Making sure they're good, they're okay, and then just making sure my band is where it should be. We even had some things where they weren't where they were supposed to be. I was like, I thought you guys knew the things. So it was just a really busy day. Kind of learned how maybe the professionals do it, and kind of got there, and they really have like a team. They have like teams for teams, you know, and everybody that's running stuff. And so it was just really cool to kind of see the inside of how these professionals and how to try to like, you know, start to learn the ropes of that type of thing. So really that was the biggest thing that I took away. And that also it's like, it's not really about your performance. It's just making sure that everything's in line and that you can just make sure you have everything ready. I don't know. And like the performance is like a small piece of that type of like setup. Does that make any sense?
Right.
It was
I know.
busy.
I've spoken to a
Yeah.
few production managers, and you're absolutely spot on. There's so much going on, and you having to do that and then
Yeah.
perform as well. You were taking on like double and triple duty there.
Yeah, but I think that's what a lot of independent artists do. Like you're just forced to like, you have to wear a million hats. You just have to. And also too, another thing I was so bummed. I talked about this during another interview, and like this is what I learned too, because I'm used to having like a Bluetooth and having that freedom to kind of run around and like, do my thing. And since I had dancers behind me too, like we had to make sure there was enough space, and I wasn't able to use my Bluetooth. I can't remember why. And I think too, we were just trying to be like convenient as possible. What was that?
I said, "Oh shoot."
Oh, sorry, I thought you said something. Yeah, like so it was a bummer. I wasn't able to use that, and so just to be is like agreeable as possible, like, you know, to make sure we're not like being inconvenient at all. Anyway, so I was using their chords, and so we couldn't put like my mic cord behind me, and we had to put it in front. And so when I got on stage, I was like starting to sing and do all my stuff, and like, but like my cord basically like fell off like over the front of the stage. And so I was spending like most of the show, I was singing, but I was like trying to fucking get my cord back on stage so I had room to actually walk around. So I'm like singing and like trying to be like, I'm like, fuck. And so it was like just stuff like that. You just can't, something always goes wrong, and you just have to always have that flexible mindset. Not gonna do how you're used to. And like I was like had this stuff on my face that I thought was gonna stay, but it was like also falling off from sweat. And so I'm like trying to like I'm almost trying to like sing these beats notes. So I learned a lot. It was a busy time, and like you just have to just adapt and keep on being like, well, hopefully I hit that note. So my experience.
Heck yeah, you just got to
And I didn't get to meet them. Yeah.
Dang.
Well, at this time, if you're rocking with us right now, jump in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We see you. Well, I want to move on to a little of the collaborations. And one that comes to mind with Venus loved blending alternative rock, hard rock, metalcore, and that raw emotion intensity. Your sound already carries a lot of power and personality on its own. So when the opportunity to collaborate with TK Crazy came up, how'd that happen? And what was your first reaction when you realized your style could actually mesh together?
Yeah, so he's a big story. That's back when I first originally started as well. So this was before I was like really pursuing music, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, just started playing. I was just kind of recording me doing music and like playing on the piano and like trying to learn songs. And this like guy reached out to me that was like just in a neighboring city. Like he wasn't far away. It's like this valley, and it's like some rapper guy. And he's like, hey, do you want to do a collab? And I was just like, you're a rapper, like, and I do like acoustic stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, well, I have a studio. He's like, come try and like record something. And I was like, all right, like whatever. So I went over there, and that's kind of how my first like original song came to be, Too Bad for You. That's how it started. I was like there, and I had my electric guitar, and I'll too, I'm not like amazing at guitar. Like I can play acoustic and play like chords and whatnot. But I'm not really that well rehearsed with like electric. I can play some power chords, I can play some good Charlotte, but that's it. And so anyway, he's like, well, just start playing something, because we were going to try to do a song together. And I was like, okay. So I just start playing these like basic power chords. And yeah, that's how Too Bad For You started. So he was really inspirational. I guess he actually made a little bit of a dent too in the music industry. I think he opened for some famous rappers, and he was kind of making his way a little bit. I know he was, starting a little bit older, like I was. But it was unfortunate that like we only had a few sessions together, and we had a lot of fun. I was actually like intro. I don't really drink anymore, but like we would just get together and just like play this kind of mess around. And so that's why I wanted to keep that like talking part before Too Bad For You, because also after a couple sessions, he actually ended up taking his life, which is really, really crappy. So yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted to keep that in memory of him, because we only got to really, I don't know, kind of collab for maybe about a month and a half or two, and then I got busy with other life things, and then I think he struggled with mental health for a long time. I think he had like prior suicide attempts like the year before or something. So I think he was struggling. I didn't know at the time. So that was really crappy. So, but he's kind of like really helped me start writing and like being more confident. And I have like recordings of like him and I on my phone, which I'll probably keep. And he was really funny. So that collab is, yeah, it's like the first one, but it's also a really kind of tragic one too. So.
Yes, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about that also. Tell us about your partnership with Alex T. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, from the band Roses Are Dead. In fact, he's in a couple of projects, but you've brought him on to help with some of your projects to bring more of a metal edge to your music. Talk about that and talk about your partnership.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I started kind of throwing stuff out on social media for my first single, when I got that recorded, the Too Bad For You, he was also another local musician, and he's like, dude, I like your stuff. And I think he just like vibed with like my vibe, and he's kind of liked what I was putting out. And yeah, it was for one of my next singles, that It's Not Me, It's You. I remember sitting in my room, and I'm just like, because I'm also trying to create an edge, right? Like we're all trying to be like, what's going to help me stick out and move forward? Because, there's so many of us trying to do music. And so I'm just like, okay, what can I do? I'm like, I should have some screaming on this song, or like, I was just trying to, and I can't, and I couldn't. I want to learn. I've been trying to practice a little bit. So that's the goal. And anyway, so I had a couple shows like lined up, and I needed somebody to like scream those parts, because I already had like a vocalist come in and like do the screaming record the screaming part, but they're not always available. So since he knew how to, I had a couple people for a couple shows do some screaming, but like we just didn't vibe, and it was, I don't know, because I also like when I get on stage, I kind of become a different personality, and I don't want to say I get mean, but like not like mean, but like especially for that song Too Bad For You, I kind of like whoever's doing the screaming with me, I kind of like to sing at them and like channel that, I don't know, aggressiveness towards them. And I remember one guy like that I asked to scream. This is before Alex. We were on stage doing a performance, and luckily it was a really small show. And he was like, "You're kind of mean." I was like, "But it's an act." Like I was just like, but I was like, I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't think it was like disrespectful. Like I don't know, but like everybody's different, right? And so I think he was just like, I didn't like that. Or I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I was just kind of like just getting into character, and I don't know. And but like what I've got asked Alex to do it, because like I just knew he was kind of vibing with my stuff. I was like, hey, you can scream. Do you want to come help out for the show? And when I would kind of throw that personality on him at stage, he'd be like, I don't know, fuck you too. Like you just throw it right back. Like he's such a calm and grounding presence, but he's just like, okay. Like, but he'd go back to singing. Like, so I'd kind of be able to just be all like, and then like, he'd just be like, yeah, I don't know. So he would like act kind of with me, and he just didn't really care. And he was just like, whatever. So I'm like, we're a good vibe. But it's hard because he is part of so many bands, so he's not really permanently a part of my project, and that's why I'm also trying to learn how to scream, because if he's not available, I know he actually is like still in his hell of school, and he's still deep in
Okay.
school right now, and it's getting really busy. So I'm trying, if I could learn how to scream by myself, that'd be great. But yeah, mainly it's because he just, energy wise, I don't offend him. So he can take it.
And if you don't learn that because of the way your voice is trained, there's nothing wrong with having someone, there are other acts that
True.
have one vocalist that's good at this and another vocalist, and it meshes together. But I think you guys
Yeah.
got something great going on.
Yeah.
Do you feel the collaborations like that
Mhm.
have helped expand the identity of Venus Love?
Oh yeah. I kind of feel like, I mean, he's been in the music scene for a very long time, like a lot longer than I have, and so a lot of people know him and know the bands that he's in. So, oh yeah, I was like, okay, I think this is gonna help me. I was like, this is gonna be part of my equation. Like, this is my secret weapon. Like, even at Battle of the Bands, I was like, this is my secret weapon is Alex. And that might come from like, a little bit of insecurity on my end of just showing up strictly as just Venus, which I need to like own and be like, no, this is my project. But it's also, I think too, music is about connecting with others, and, kind of, I like doing things with other people, like producing with other people. Like I'm never gonna be one of those people that just sits alone in a house and it's just like does everything by themselves and like records the drums and does the guitar and sings and mixes and masters. Like, no, that's lonely. Like, it's so much more fun to do it with people and connect and be like, what do you think? And like, they like throw, you know what I mean? So I'm always gonna probably try to collab and keep connecting with other people. It's fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, and speaking of connecting with other people, you've said that you want your music to be an authentic experience. You want your listeners, your fans, people to feel something, not just come to a show. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that kind of comes from like just loving being a performer as well. It's so in high school too, I grew up like I was on the dance team, and so like I was kind of taught to also like how to be on stage and how to always have like certain facial expressions. And if you have no facial expression, we're not going to win, which was so true, especially in dance. That's what I learned. You have to be very expressive and very big so you can, I mean, win, but also like look, be entertaining, to like be entertaining and whatnot. So that's where I learned all that from. And so I think that also is just, that's what I like to do, is like also just entertaining, because if you go on stage, you have like no face and you're just kind of just like doing your thing and not really like looking at the crowd. Like, I feel like if you're in the crowd, you're not going to really you're not going to connect with like the person on stage. You're probably not going to feel like you felt anything, maybe, even if the singer is really good. It's just, I think it's, again, it all goes back to connection, I think. So that's why I love when I get on stage. I'm like in your face. I'm like, hey, I'm going to sing to you. I'm going to look at you, like eye contact. Cause I'm just like, it's just fun to connect with people. And yeah, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think also, oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, also, I think it takes me back like to that time frame of like dance competition. Like, it's so ingrained in me to like have like big facial expressions and like to be performing like constantly. Like, this moment I step on that stage, to never like know that I am performing. Like, because I'll see people, or like, I don't know, maybe it works for them, but like they get on stage, but they'll kind of be relaxed or like, not like, no, people are looking at you, like you are in performance mode right now, in between the songs, like the whole thing. So I just know if there's a moment that I like look down, or if I like am tired, I'm like, oh my God, we're not gonna like, it's ingrained in me that I have to perform all like constantly. Like, that's like part of performers like etiquette, I don't know, or something like that. So it's like this like rule ingrained in me that I have to keep performing, and I want to as well, to like give off that professional vibe. So yeah, if I don't do that, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to go run stair laps. So it's just a fear now. I'm conditioned. Yeah.
So The one thing that really stood out about Venus Love is how you're able to blend the emotion, the aggression, and personality into your music while still making every track feel different and authentic to you. And when you start looking through the singles and the collaborations, you can really hear the evolution taking shape. So I want to jump into one of those collaborations. It's
Okay.
Not Me, It's You,
Oh,
with
yeah.
Josh. And how did the track first come together, and what made Josh the right fit for that song creatively?
So, um, he like so that's that's the original one because I remade that one later with a different producer, and then I put Alex on there.
Mhm.
Josh wasn't the right fit.
Uh,
But it's the first time I did this song. So like Too Bad for You, that like my acoustic songs, and then the first version of It's Not Me, It's You was done at a different it was the first studio I was at, and it wasn't a good fit, and I just didn't know it at the time, because I had never really gone into a studio and recorded. And I knew the person, but also what's really big here in Boise is there's a really big indie vibe, and like I'm just not I don't know. I'm not for that right now. I just have a lot of anger I need to get out, and I'm not a groover. And so that studio was very indie. Like he was in a band that was indie, and so the songs I feel like he couldn't hear what I was trying to what I was trying to like get in my songs, like that sort of like rock aggression, metalcore sound. And so I just didn't know what I was doing. And Josh was great though. Like he was just somebody that I knew before, like I really kind of connected with Alex more. And I just knew he screamed. I was like, hey, I kind of want to do some screaming on this track. I was like, would you like to, come? And so I did do Josh. But like who was available for shows moving forward and stuff was Alex. Like he was always kind of there and available, so he just kind of fell into that role. But I mean, Josh was great, but he just wasn't available. So I don't know. And I've just really I think Alex too, like you said, I think his voice and my voice kind of sound good together. Like they kind of work well. So I'm like, that's cool.
I'll
So
tell you,
that's how that one came to be. Yeah.
this is one of the reasons why we have these podcasts, is to help the audience and fans, learn
Yeah.
more about you. And these are things that, you learn as you go and you
Yeah.
improve on, and you
Hmm.
know where you need to go. So I appreciate that.
I'm still finding my sound too. That's the thing. I don't know what it is. I just like this, I like that, and I'm just trying to put them all together. The next track I'm gonna do is like a lot of electronica. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but like you said, it's just trial and error. You just kind of keep building. You're like, this works, this didn't work, and you just keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you talked about that one. I'm glad Rob brought that one up because I had that on my list because your revamped version with Alex to me is a more rocked up version, and I really like that one. And I was going to mention when you guys get to the part where you're doing the talking part, I want to
Hmm.
say kind of rapping
Yeah.
reminded me so much. Your sound together reminded me so much of Suicide Boys. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
those
okay.
guys, but that's what I
Uh-huh.
thought of, and I was like, this is really cool. This kind of
Oh, okay.
had reminiscent of that sound a little bit, and I love that effect in the revamped version at the end, that that just takeoff
Yeah.
at the end. It just, you
Uh-huh.
guys really did some cool remastering on that. So
Hmm.
that's just
Yeah.
great. And who helps with the production and the mastering
Hmm.
of these songs like that? Who's the behind the scenes with you guys?
Yeah, so it's been, oh my gosh, he's been great because he's like he knows exactly the sound that I'm trying to go for, and like basically like I'll just like put an acoustic song together and I'm like, help me make this rock. Or punk pop or whatever. So it's been David Green. He's another local musician here, and he's actually part of a local band. I mean, I think they're still pretty well known, but he's the guitarist for Become the Apex, and they actually won X Fest a few years back and opened for Falling in
Okay,
Reverse. So like they've
nice.
been making some waves. But I'm really sad because he's been amazing. He knows exactly the sound that I want, that kind of metalcore, and he's into that too. Because like Falling in Reverse, like that band really inspires a lot of that type of music that I love.
Mhm.
So he actually, though, I actually just had to step away from him because he said he's kind of taking a break from recording, and his like day job is taking off, and he's got his family, and so he just doesn't have as much time. So I actually have to move to another producer, which I'm really sad about. I'm
Mm.
so bummed. But, we have to keep, growing and experiencing different people. And maybe this new one will bring a different element that I haven't had before. But no, David Green has been so awesome. So yeah, I worked with him for a year. And actually that song too, I will be real. It's because I really love Falling in Reverse, and they're a huge inspiration. And so we kind of combined, I think it's Monsters in My Head. I forget the song name, but
Okay.
it's a song by
Yeah.
Falling in Reverse, that one, and then also my favorite one by them is, or no, it's Voices in My Head. And so that
Okay.
song, I actually kind of copied a lot of it because I was like, dude, I want to make a version of this that's mine because I love this song so much. So if you listen to Voices in My Head by Falling in Reverse, it does that same where it goes down to that whisper part. And then it has that like thing as well. Cause I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I want that one.
Okay.
So I feel bad for saying that. It's not something that came up in my head. I was like, I want to do this. This is cool. So I kind of copied it, but I love it. So yeah, I
I
wanted my version.
never accuse artists of copying. I always just say, hey, we're
Yeah.
standing on the shoulders of giants. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but like, it's my version. It's not the exact same. But I was like, dude, I want that. And I want this explosive bit like they did. And so, yeah, it was just cool. So he helped me with that. So it was really cool because I love Falling in Reverse. So great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram boy.
No.
Ah, yeah.
All right. This one feels like it hits from a completely different angle. It's got
Yeah.
attitude, personality, feels
Yeah.
like commentary of moderate society culture, all wrapped
Yeah.
into one track. When you were creating Instagram Boy,
Uh-huh.
what inspired the concept behind the song, and what message were you trying to send?
Um, well, I think when it goes back to it too, as musicians, like we're just trying to get feelings out. We're not really thinking about like maybe with some projects, musicians are more focused on like sending a message, but I'm just kind of like I just need to like express this. I need to express this feeling. I don't know. Um, but yeah, actually that song I think is one of my favorites because I just love I love writing melodies. They're just, and so like the melodies of that song, the different chords and how they're put together is one of my favorites so far that I feel like I've created. And I feel like it just really kind of encompasses that like happy, like just this zest for life, or like these feelings of excitement and like hope. And I feel like it's like I don't know. I always get these feelings of like before like summer hits, or like when you're in summer, it's just like these summer vibes of like everything's exciting and good and the sun's out, and like I don't know, kind of that millennial like I don't even know. Anyway, so it's one of my favorites. But of course, yeah, so it is more, it's different from that metalcore sound. You're right. And again, I think that's why, because I just really haven't found my sound. And it's because I had met somebody, another musician that was more pop punk, that kind of inspired that sound. I was like, okay, I'm going to try something that's more like this. Obviously, I had a really big crush on them. And so I kind of tried to do that genre a little bit. And it was fun. But I do think after a couple of those songs, I'm like, I think a lot of my strengths and I think a lot of my like authenticity like really hits with that harder kind of metalcore like power. Like I like that best. But yeah, so it's just kind of like writing about excitement and like a fantasy. We all like to make up fantasies and really get sucked into those and be like, yeah. So anyway.
So the music video, you were really riding the motorcycle?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I ride.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's I actually had a way cooler bike before. That was just I just borrowed my dad's like 250 that was street legalized, but I used to have this really cool KTM that was like a street bike. It It's called like Naked Style. It was a 390 Duke. And so it's like not super big, but if it started to tip over, I could like save it, you know. It was for my size, but I had to sell it when I went back to school. But I'll probably get another one later because now that I'm going to be starting my big girl career here again, I'll have a real paycheck. So we'll see. But yeah, writing's great. I love writing. Yeah.
Speaking of that, of course, you and Rob can probably share stories later. He's big motorcycle rider.
Hell yeah. Well,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna jump into some more music thing, but that's cool. You're actually riding on there. You don't have a stunt double. That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah. No, I love writing. It's really sad though. I know I keep hearing like, I mean, it's just such a risk with motorcycle riding too. It's not when you get, or it's not if you get into an accident. It's when, like, like we've already heard a couple, accidents here that people like died. So I'm like, thanks, Mom. I know. It sucks because I love writing, but yeah, it's something you have to be really, really careful with because people just don't see you, which sucks.
right.
But yeah, I still love it. Yeah.
Transitioning from writing to writing, you have this theme in titling your songs with the spelling of not.
I know.
It's not me, it's you, you're still not pretty, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there's a story behind that, but did you know there was a British punk gothic band named Not that's known for synth melodies and drum machines and heavy beats and all that? And where's this come from?
No, I had no idea. I was honestly just trying to be silly. I remembered like when I was in junior high, we used to always write with letters and numbers, and we just thought it was the coolest thing. And so I was actually at the time, it's when I first wrote the It's Not Me, It's You. I was still with that first band that I joined when I first got into the scene that I auditioned for. And yeah, so I started writing my song. And I remember the practice. I remember exactly when I put down that name. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to put this down because they were trying to learn this new song to play for me. And I wrote it on the whiteboard. I was just trying to be funny. And I was like, this is just an inside joke to me. Like, I don't even care. Like, it's funny. I make myself laugh. So it's supposed to be really like corny and stupid. But I laugh. So
you were ferging around.
What was that?
So you were ferging around.
I was ferging around. Yeah.
Yeah. A play on my name that I do.
I like it. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I make myself laugh. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll probably keep doing it too for all my future songs, just to be annoying.
Well, you have to. It's a running theme now. You have to. That's your thing.
Yeah. Like, especially when I came up with this last one again, when I decided to release this original version of Not Pretty, I was just like, what do I want to call this? I'm like, You're Still Not Pretty. Okay. I'm like, I don't care. It's fun.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
that's the newest chapter of Venus Love. You dropped it, May 1st? And, that also had Alex T in it.
Yeah.
Did this track challenge you vocally or emotionally in any new ways?
Oh, Mike said he loved it, whoever that is. Thanks, Mike. I wasn't looking at the comments. I don't know if you guys are looking at it.
Yeah, we've been posting it, putting them on.
Oh, where did the song "You're Not That Pretty" come about? Oh, great. Okay, I'll talk about it. Okay, so that one actually I wrote. That was the original version of Not Pretty, and I actually wrote and recorded that one like a year and a half ago. And we actually had tabled that song because I was like, oh, I feel like this still sounds like too amateur, or it's missing something, or I was just like, I just don't think it has what it needs yet. And so we actually tabled that song for like a year. And then when I realized I had to change producers, I was like, I don't want this to go to waste because I want to keep making sure I can like keep releasing music because it's hard when there's long periods of time between songs. So I just want to keep like the online presence going and like keep that. And I'm like, and I'm still really proud of it. So to me, it feels like more of this kind of like forced together, not really finished song is like how I interpret it, but it's the original. Like that's what Not Pretty was. And then we changed it into that more like pop punk version, which again, I think that was more my producer because he kind of like wrote more of the melody on that one. And it's great and I love it, but it's not actually like really Venus. So this one really is Venus. It's just maybe more of a raw kind of version. So that one again came from another breakup. Well, actually, it's one of the same breakups. I'm not just breaking up constantly, but it's good writing material. You know, it's like, so it's all usually from like one of the same ones. But yeah, so I wrote that one a year ago, and I just like again, I really like that strength and intensity, like identity behind Venus. So that's what I try to bring out in the vocals, and I feel like the chorus really like kind of like illustrates that. So I love that. And then yeah, I just like I hate or what is it about that one? What was your question? Sorry, I forgot. Oh, you said that was like the new era or something.
Well,
Sorry.
the did it challenge you vocally or emotionally in any new ways?
Well, when I recorded that a year ago, I mean, kind of just, I mean, I was still just trying to learn how to like record in a studio, and I still get a lot of stage fright, like more so than singing on stage in front of a lot of people. Like, I feel way more comfortable doing that than just singing in front of just one person. It's just like, oh God. So, and especially in front of my producer. So yeah, there was like, on that song, and then bringing ideas too. I'm just like, is this I'm like, is this stupid? I don't know. It's just you just got to learn how to be more confident in the music community, and then just be like, okay, this is what I have, because it's music is so like vulnerable and emotional, and it's like, oh God, here's my diary. Help, like help me like make this into music. So yeah, so there was a bridge part, just so not it didn't really challenge me vocally. But it was still in that early phase of me like being still new in the studio with my producer and just trying to get used to like belting in front of him and not feeling like I was like, because when I would get nervous and scared, my voice would like close up, or I'll be like, and anyway. So it was challenging in that way. So I was still trying to be like, all right, Gwen, be a professional, like show up, be confident, like own your shit. So if that makes any sense. Yeah. But I think I'm glad I released it, because I think I was getting a little soft with like the other pop punk songs. I'm like, that's not really Venus. Like, so I'm glad I'm like, okay, this is definitely more of me, like in your face, like, yeah. So yeah, that's that song.
Well, speaking of performances, during your live performances, who have your other bandmates been when you go on stage? Is it the same that you have in the studio, or who performs with you?
So no, when I've been in the studio with David, he actually is a guitarist. So he's the one that tracks the guitar. And it's all just, I don't know a lot of the terminology, but it's like, I don't know, it's MIDI drums, but it's all like programmed.
Okay.
So the bass and everything's programmed that he does, but like, it's so cool because he like knows, he's been doing it for a while. So he knows like what sound the instrument needs to make at this point. And so he's been so great to work with. But it's also been really funny because I've had other drummers say, yeah, I really like the track and I think the drums sound good, even though they're programmed. But
Right.
Sometimes he's like, the guitarist can write as if the drummer has like 11 arms.
Okay.
And so he's like, so I hope so that's pretty much how I've been recording so far, is that a lot of it's been just produced, except he's been tracking the guitars because he is a guitarist. I'm not quite sure what the new producer is going to do, but yeah, so people that have played with me live, oh my God, it is so hard to find consistent people, and that everybody's schedule lines up, that they're like really into the project. That's what I've learned is, oh man, being a solo project, it is rough. Like keeping a band together, like
Right.
just with schedules. And what's a bummer is that originally I wasn't really trying to go solo. I just wanted to be like a rock singer, obviously, like, Evanescence and all that shit. But the first band I
Oh
was a
yeah.
part of, the first band I was a part of that I auditioned for, lasted like 2 weeks, because then the guitarist was like, yo, I'm moving, I got a new job, but I'll be back in like 4 months or something. And so we're just like, well, what do we do in the meantime? And I'm such a very like, I'm a go-getter. I'm like, I'm a doer. I'm like, I need like to do stuff.
Yes,
I need to see
right now.
outcome, like, or whatever. I'm not just going to sit around. And so I was like, well, I started working on this other track with this rapper. And this is before he like passed away. And so it was still kind of like there. And I was like, oh, and then also my drummer in that first band was also a videographer. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
when the guitarist left and moved away, I was like, so I have this song, like, I think I'm going to finish. I'm like, do you want to do a music video? Like, why not? You know? So that's how my solo project came to be, because like nothing else was happening. I was like, and I'm like, well, I'll make shit happen. Like, because I was just, I had the time, and I just don't like kind of sitting around and waiting. So I was like, I'll make it happen. I don't know if people are down.
I
So anyway,
totally get that. I promise.
yeah. So kind of moving forward, they weren't really into my project though. I feel like, I don't know, it takes a really unique set of people. Maybe they're just like, if they're really into your music and really on board, and that's been really hard to find, because a lot of the times I found a lot of people, they're in other projects, and they're more passionate about their own projects, which makes sense. We're all passionate about our own projects. So trying to find people that want to commit and take the time to like give their time to you is, I'm so grateful for. And so it's just, trying to, be friends with a lot of people in the music community. So that's what I've just done, is kind of rotated between friends that play. But it's been extremely stressful. And I've had certain people like drop out like 3 weeks before a show or something. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's so stressful. So I've had people, but they're usually different, just because, I don't know, I guess it's a solo project and it's just hard because they're not maybe contributing, and like, I've been open to it though. Like, I'm like, you can help write, but I don't know. Maybe they just don't like a woman in charge. Just
Well, you
kidding.
just need the right pairing,
So
and it'll happen.
yeah.
No. Oh, he froze.
Oh,
It's Billy Idol
he
getting paired
froze.
with Steve Stevens, and then they just,
Yeah.
but it'll happen.
Well, and I think I have found a really good group right now, and they said they wanted to be permanent. So hopefully it'll work out, and they've been great. But it's actually a girl drummer, which is super rad.
Okay.
And so this group, and then the bass player is her partner, which I know can get, like, I don't know if that's the best, but they seem great. And their guitar player is one of their friends, and we're all kind of like the same age, so we're not like, so hopefully it'll be okay. But so these guys have been great too, so I'm hoping it'll stick. But I agree with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Yeah.
No apologies. They'd rather hear you than me. I promise.
Yep.
That's fair.
So earlier we talked about the upcoming June 30th show, opening for Hinder and Eddie and the Getaway.
Yeah.
And opportunities like that really show the momentum Venus Love is building right now. So looking beyond the show, what's next for you? More touring, more releases, bigger collaborations? Where do you see Venus Love heading from here?
Yeah, no, that's a really awesome question. Because the reason of like getting onto Hinder and kind of moving forward, I swear it all comes from really dark moments where I'm just like, what do I need to do to like be somewhat satisfied or somewhat content with whatever phase I'm in or I'm doing? And so the reason I got onto Hinder, like, again, I remember this exact moment. I was like laying in bed, and this was this last semester in school, and I'm glad I'm done, but school isn't like something that I just live for, right? Or my career. Like, it's great, but it's not what makes me feel alive, right? So you can still get depressed, like if things aren't going okay. So I was like kind of like, feeling down at the time, and like, really emotionally down. And it was like, I think 2 a.m. And I remember somebody telling me the year prior, because I'm like, okay, how can I get ahead? Because music, I feel like, is one of those only things that fills that like void of like that emptiness inside, where, because we try to fill that with people. We try to fill that with like, I don't know, other things, but like, you're just like, no, I have to like fill that myself. And like, music is the only thing that kind of will do that. So I get really, I feel like, hyper fixated, and sometimes obsessive, but also because it's a dream. I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
this is the only thing that's working. I'm going to keep moving forward. So anyway, I was like spinning my wheels laying in bed. I was like, okay, how do I move? Like, how do I move forward? What can I do? Like, what is the next step? Like, and then I remember somebody saying, get an EPK to get, oh my God, I can't say it, EPK together, like get your shit together on that like musical resume so you can start kind of like shooting that out. And so at like 2 a.m. I was like, okay, that's right. And so I kind of start putting everything together on an EPK. And then I just start shooting. I got this idea of like, oh, maybe I can try to open up for like other big bands that are coming through. So I emailed one of the guys that runs a lot of the venues here and books a lot of the stuff. He's great. And so I emailed him at like 2 a.m. I'm like, are there any shows? Like, can I get on any shows or anything? Like, here's my EPK. Like, can you send it to their touring managers or something? And he emails me back. He's like, just tell me which one. Like, and I'll send it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I saw that like Hinder was coming up, and because I really want to also play with bands that I know. And so I saw that actually Rise Against already played. And then I think Hawthorne Heights came. I was like, oh, those would have been fucking cool, but they already came about. So I saw Hinder, and he's like, yeah, I'll send it to the touring manager. And so that's kind of I think my angle that I'm going to try to do. But yeah, it's all from these moments of just like emotional anguish. And it like, that's what I guess what pulls out of me. It pulls out that like drive of like, okay, what do I need to do next? And like that, like hyper fixating on that. So to answer long answer to your question, I've had to really focus on finishing school right now because that was, gotta live. So I had to like kind of take a step back. But if this Warped Tour thing doesn't work out, which I really hope it does, I won't find out till May 23rd if I make it.
Okay.
But I was trying to think my next angle is because there's not a lot of big bands coming through Boise for like the next 6 months that I know, except there's some big ones out at the Ford Center, but I've already emailed them because that's where I opened up for Chevelle. And I've been working with the production manager there, and he's like, I'll let you know. He's like, you're a great local band. He's like, yeah, I'll definitely let you know if there's any spots for any local opportunities. But I'm thinking I might reach out to some bigger venues in like Seattle and Portland and Salt Lake and shoot my EPK out to them. And that's kind of my next step besides like music festivals. And I saw that like music festivals, like you have to apply like the year before for a lot of these like bigger ones. And so I was thinking of that. So I'll do that like this summer. But then I was also looking at, I think you might need an amount of listeners on your like Spotify, like a certain amount for them to maybe like even consider you. So then I started thinking, I was like, shit, okay, how do I do that? And then I realized it's probably like through maybe like Meta ads, but that's going to be like $500 like a month. And then also you don't even know if they're like real people. They could be like bots that like adds to your Spotify listeners. So I was like, shit, I can't afford that. And I think that maybe that's not as legit. So long story so I'm still kind of trying to like spin those wheels. So does any of that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely it does. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is who you know. And so I would encourage you to
Yes.
continue building your relationships in your music community.
Yeah.
I think we've come a long way in the rock and roll and music and even the metal community from what it used to be, because there was a time when bands would be like, oh, well, F those other guys, I want to do this. But I think people are more receptive to helping now than they used to
Yeah.
be. Maybe not everyone is, but I would encourage you to continue to network within the music community, because
Mhm.
a lot of it really is connections and who you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, so when Hinder comes, obviously I think I will be able to meet them because it's, a smaller-ish venue, or it's not like a huge one. So I was even using like ChatGPT. I was like, because I use that tool like all the time. And I'm like, okay, what can I do to like move ahead with this opportunity? Like any suggestions to make this performance, like even better or something. It's like, ask them to like have them see if they're open for you meeting their like agent, or like be like, hey, can I meet your agent? Or like just even asking them of like, hey, any advice on like how I can keep moving forward, and just not like being like, hey, make me famous, but it's just like, hey, do
Right.
you like any feedback, like how can I keep growing, that like any information you're willing to give me or any feedback, let me know. So I'm going to try to just ask them and be like, any advice?
Yeah,
So,
the thing is, if you never ask, you'll never know.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely.
and
And
then,
maybe, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and that's what I was going to say. And like, also, I think I'm going to ask too, of just like, what can I do to like, what do I need to be, or like to be able to tour with bands like you? Like, what is the next step? Like, what do I need to focus on getting like more listeners? Do I have to really increase like social media? Because I brought another artist here and he was like amazing for my last show, like Gavin Prophet, and he really blew himself up online. He's also very political, and he's got like, he really has like a message like to say. And I think
Okay.
that's like, that draws in a lot of people, because it's not just the music, but he's like, fuck the government. Everybody loves that, you know? So he has like this message. And so a lot of his videos, I feel like, are very much like, oh, you know, stand up against whatever is going on. I'm not really political. But I think it's great. And so I can see that's the angle he's used to really help his music, you know, and like himself. So I don't know if it's exhausting, like trying to post so much online content, and, you know, I've been doing it the best that I can. So I don't know. I really don't want to go that angle if I don't have to, because it just also seems like I don't know, if you don't have that specific edge to take it very far. And I don't want to go off of like, oh, it's because I'm really pretty. Like, you know what I mean? And so, because everybody likes to follow really aesthetically pleasing people too, like if they're hot, like it's social media, you know? And I'm like, I don't really want to go like, there's just a lot of work, and it's not, so I'm hoping if I can just, meet people. And like I said, you know, contact the bigger venues that are in like Seattle or Portland, and just like introduce myself. And like you said, just keep trying to network. I might just keep trying that. And I feel like, I've got like, you know, a personality that's just like, okay, I can, you know, I don't know, not like charm you, but like I can be a people person and just like vibe with you, be friends, maybe. That's the hope. I don't know. So,
Well, I do think networking is a big part of it, and not
yeah.
not even, I mean, definitely talking to the bands, but also talking to some other people, maybe people in radio, people in that are actually helping produce the bands, things like that. And it's going to
Yeah.
happen. But I
Yeah.
totally get it about the sex sells thing. I'm not going to lie. Starting out
Yeah.
doing what we're doing, I've joked around with Rob that, some of the big ones, like that metal show back in the day, you got the pretty blonde or whatever on there, but
Mhm.
I don't,
Yeah.
we've joked around about that, but the thing of it is, I want to sell myself on my content. I want to sell myself
Right.
on, I don't want to cheapen what I do
I
for
know,
somebody else's
right?
thrill, and
Yeah.
then they don't take you serious. I mean, you
Right.
obviously are an attractive young lady, but you want them to come because they're attracted to your songs and what you bring to the music
Yeah.
community.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
I was
we
like,
know
I
the
don't.
two go
Yeah.
together. We can't help it, but
It's like pizza. It's true. Pizza's too good. Pizza's way too good.
oh, that's a running joke. That's a running joke. We'll explain it offline.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
Cool.
Gwendolyn, what would you say your dream venue would be?
I would say, well, I mean, obviously, I mean, Warped Tour. If like, I mean, main stage Warped Tour obviously would be amazing. But I heard somebody, like another musician, talk about this venue in London. It's like what is it? The really big one there? What is it called? Something, Wembley Stadium or something like that.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that one?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just because they mentioned it, and because I want to outperform them, I want to go do that. It's fine. They're not that great, so it's okay. But I've just heard they just talked about that a lot. It seems like a really cool venue. But I can't really think of any really cool one here that's like awesome besides like Warped Tour main stage. I don't know. Is there any really cool ones here? I was like, dude, if I'm just,
I'd have to research it.
right?
I think, I don't know, mainly is like if I'm just playing a show with like the really cool bands, like that's all I care about. I think if I'm playing with like Breaking Benjamin, I'm set. Like wherever it is, I don't care.
And don't be afraid. I will
Yeah.
say this. Don't be afraid to put yourself on the bill with local artists when they do local festivals and things like that, and be a part of that community as well and support them as well because they're right there exactly where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I do have some mixed feelings about that.
Okay.
Because I think, because I don't disagree with you at all. I don't at all. But this might be like, this has been kind of my path, or my kind of like way I've been doing things. And I feel like it's been working a little bit. Because I do agree with you, but I've also seen so many local bands that will just play continuously, and they'll play like weekend after weekend. And for me too, I don't, maybe they have more energy, but it takes so much energy for me to like just even be in a show and put it on. And so I feel like it has to be a really special like show, or like I don't know, it has to be unique because it takes a lot out of me
Okay.
because it's not my full-time
Yeah.
thing. So, and I just see these bands that will play and play and play, and I don't see them really kind of growing in any way. So I actually I don't really agree with that, because I have these, I don't know, and anybody can take this any which way, and I don't know, but like I do kind of have these standards where I will not play like the smaller venues unless there's some component about it or element that is like bigger than me, that makes me grow, or it's like a different type of challenge. So I actually won't really play with other local artists, because again, it already takes so much out of me out of my like, just regular life to just put what I do, because I like to put everything into a show. Like I love it. And it takes a lot out of me. So I want them to be really special moments that like will help me grow and level up. And so I kind of take a look back, and in the past 2 years, since I've kind of had that like those kind of set of standards, because I will never play in a bar. Like I won't, unless it's like acoustic or open mic and I'm just vibing and chilling. Like I've done that. Like totally cool. But if it's like a Venus Love, this is a Venus Love rock show. I won't play with other locals if it's just locals, or if it's at a venue that I've already played. And I think everybody does things differently, but if looking back, when I started getting to the music scene, I started like one of our local venues, the Shredder here. And then from there, I was able to have somebody reach out and be like, hey, do you want to actually play like the Knitting Factory, which is a really cool, bigger venue here. And it was a really great opportunity. So I played that one. And then from there, I was able to like look at what like other opportunities. And then from there, I then went straight to the Rev, which is a way bigger venue here, like Falling in Reverse when they come here, like play at the Rev. And I went to it. The next step was that bigger stage, the Rev. And then like winning that. And then from there, I went straight to the Ford Center, which is our biggest stage here in Boise, where like Chevelle asking Alexandria. So in that whole year, kind of with those standards, I'm like, I actually won't, because I won't grow. Like there's ways to grow, but like how I'm looking at it and what's been working for me is that unless there's some type of challenge or additional level, like I will actually not play that. So it's just because it takes so much out of me already, and I'm so passionate about it. So like I think other people do it that way and it works. Maybe I'm just more of a bitch. I don't know.
No, I love the ambition. I love it. I love the ambition, and I'm glad I asked that question for you to put that on display, because I love the ambition. I kind of feel that way, and I love that. I love that. That's the push and the drive to grow. I love that.
Yeah. And that's why too, the last show I did, I played at the Shredder again, but I brought this really like awesome artist that was like, he's blowing up, and I just feel like it's like you are who your friends are. And so it's like if you believe that you have the drive and the talent and like the mindset as these other people, they're like much, they're excelling a lot quicker than you, or like they're a lot farther along. If you surround yourself with these people, they're going to help you. Like you're going to see what they're doing and be able to like, like I've just heard this thing too. You always want to like surround yourself with people that are farther along than you to like where you want to be, in like a professional way. So that's kind of how I look at it. So yeah.
I love
Anyway,
it.
also,
We're
yeah.
I love it.
coming up on the hour and 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask one last question for you, Gwendolyn.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you share with the audience, where can they find your music?
Yeah. Great question. Yeah, it's on everything. So it's like iTunes, YouTube, Apple Music. I think it's on like Deezer, whatever the hell that is. I don't know. It's part of the
Did you say
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, because I use DistroKid as like a distribution, and like they say
Okay.
all the platforms that your music will appear on, and like Deezer is one of them. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is. So yeah, the Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all those fun. Oh, and another thing I wanted to say about the new song that came out, the "You're Still Not Pretty." So actually, that ended up on a couple Spotify playlists that I didn't even like ask or submit it to. So I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was like one like
Heck
it's
yeah.
like said new metalcore and it has like 20,000 saves. I'm like, cool. I thought this track was like really experimental, but maybe somebody liked it. So anyway,
Heck
it was cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's
Heck yeah.
me. Thanks for letting me talk forever.
oh, absolutely.
Thanks for talking. Thanks for sharing with us. Thanks for taking
Yeah.
time out of your day.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
seriously.
course. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us today. It's
Yeah.
been awesome getting to dive into the story behind Venus Love, from the music, the collaborations, the energy behind the singles, all the way to the momentum building with these upcoming shows, future plans. We definitely appreciate you taking the time to share your journey with us and the audience. And to everybody watching and listening, make sure you go check out Venus Love, stream the music,
Absolutely.
follow the movement, and keep an eye out for that June 30th show opening for Hinder and Eddie in the Getaway. This is Rob. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks. Woo.